The big story we're tracking, the Weather Department has predicted heavy rain and strong winds in West Bengal and the northeast as well as cyclonic storm Sitrang intensifies and moves towards Bangladesh. At 8:30 a.m. this morning, the cyclone was 380 kilometers south of Sagar Island in Bengal and 670 kilometers southwest of Barisal in Bangladesh, according to the latest information from the Met Department. The Weather Department has issued an advisory warning against offshore activities in Bengal's coastal districts today and tomorrow. For further clarity on the matter, we're joined by my colleagues Ratnadeep Chaudhary and Saurabh Gupta, who are tracking all the details on the ground. Let's go across to Ratnadeep first, who joins us with the latest update from Assam. Ratnadeep, what details can you share with us?
That's right. In fact, right from the afternoon, drizzling had started in parts of Assam. We are reporting from Guwahati. In fact, today being Diwali, people actually had planned for their Diwali, but it seems that Assam and rest of Northeast is going to have a rather rainy and perhaps stormy Diwali with the, the cyclone really gathering momentum at this moment. In fact, just minutes before we went on air with this broadcast, the IMD department has issued a fresh, warning for, specific different parts of Northeast, particularly 3 districts in, eastern Meghalaya, then 2 districts in Mizoram, Mamit and Kolasheb, entire Tripura and southern Assam. These are the region in northeast which have been placed under red alert, high alert for heavy to very heavy rainfall. In fact, IMD has predicted rainfalls up to 200 millimeters. In fact, that's why Tripura government has decided to shut down all the schools till 26th of October. All the leaves of government employees have been cancelled. The vehicle movement have been restricted. All the other states are also preparing. NDRF has sent out their additional teams to all these areas. The state disaster response force of each of the states are ready on standby. So precautionary measures have been taken. But as the advisories from IMD are pointing out that the rains and the storm will gather momentum from the evening. In fact, as we speak, the drizzling is actually increasing. The rains are becoming more hard, and the wind. In fact, you can see it is becoming difficult for me to actually hold the umbrella because the wind has started to actually gust more, and this just goes to show that in the evening and perhaps late evening at night, northeast will experience heavy rainfall as predicted by the Met Department. One would hope that it does not go that way, but also remember these areas which are this time marked as vulnerable areas also some of the areas are very hilly. So once there is heavy rains in northeast, we have always seen that there are massive landslides. That is something for which all the state governments have prepared for, and therefore now people are bracing tough times in this festive season.
Ratnadeep, thank you so much for joining us with the latest from Assam. Do stay safe. We will, of course, revert to you for regular updates. With that, let's go across to Saurabh, who joins us from the Sundarbans. Saurabh, give us a sense of the situation on the ground, and has it intensified since we last spoke?
Well, I'm actually in Bokhali, which is a place in South 24 Parganas of West Bengal, and this is, of course, one of the places perhaps we'll see some peripheral activity of the cyclone that originated in the Bay of Bengal, but now seems to be moving more towards, towards the side that, if you look up from the south, towards Bangladesh and towards the Tripura and the northeast, as that seems to be the trajectory of the cyclone Sitrang, which of course originated in the Bay of Bengal. Now, of course, right now is a low tide, so the water has gone out almost, as far as one can see. But in the evening, here too, there is heavy rain expected, and winds seem to be picking up a bit, though it's still calm here because the trajectory of the cyclone seems to be moving more towards, as Ratnadeep was reporting, the Bangladesh and, more eastern Bangladesh than western Bangladesh. Now, if one looks at the map of Bangladesh, then on the west you have West Bengal, and on the east you have states like Tripura, Mizoram, which seem to be getting more affected than parts of West Bengal and Sundarbans. The Sundarbans is expected to see some of the impact of that cyclonic activity that originated in the Bay of Bengal from a deep depression and turned into a cyclone yesterday. And here too, rescue teams, including the NDRF and SDRF, have been kept on standby. In fact, they're at Kakdeep, which is some distance away from here. But because, the topography of the Sundarbans is getting from one place to another, can be challenging at times, especially in inclement weather, what happens is they stay at one central place so that they can move immediately when assistance is required and when they need to mobilize. So in that context, they are in Kakdeep. But here also, perhaps the winds have picked up a bit, but not as much as what Ratnadeep perhaps is experiencing in Guwahati and other places of the northeast, which have, which are where there's a forecast for very heavy rain and strong winds. Though the intensity of the winds now, according to local forecasts, seem to be a little lesser than what was predicted, gusting at about 80 kilometers per hour. So that, of course, is the latest weather update as far as Cyclone Sitrang is concerned. And this weather update changes from time to time. For example, there have been cyclones where one expected one cyclone to hit Mumbai, but it went into Alibag last time around. So it's very difficult to track minute to minute movement. But at this point, it seems to be veering more towards the Bangladesh side and eastern Bangladesh more than western Bangladesh. And that, of course, seems to be the reason why you see the semblance of calm here before actually the cyclone makes landfall in Barisal district of Bangladesh.
Saurabh, thank you so much, as always, for joining us with the latest. Ratnadeep and Saurabh, please stay safe. We will, of course, revert to you for regular updates.